So thank you everyone for coming. My name is Torsten and my gender pronouns are he and him. And I'm acknowledging that I'm on the beautiful lands of the Vega Gautier First Nations, what is also known for Providence here in the Northwest Territories. And today we have Dora again with us, so we're very excited. And I'm just going to hand it over right away to Dora. So thanks everybody for being here.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming to the Game Face workshop, and it's great to see everyone. And today is going to be the last webinar, and it's about how to develop healthy lifestyle choices. So let's dive in. So it's going to be 45 minutes talking, or a little bit less, and after we can have Q&A. So in the previous webinar and engagement sessions, we talked about the importance of mind-body connection and routines before, during, and after matches. But specifically, we also talked about in between routines, the 4 hours, and these physical and mental routines work at a consistent level if you have a holistic program. I will talk about what lifestyle choices will support you to be consistent and mentally tough, stable during competitions. Specifically, I will talk about how to develop healthy lifestyle choices and what are those. So the Game Face training program involves simple lifestyle choices in 4 key categories: physiological, physical, mental, and daily life. They provide a foundation for the Game Face routine you will employ during competitions. Your physiology is the base of your Game Face training program. What you choose to eat along with your sleeping habits have a huge impact on these vital functions. And the physical aspect involves the quantity and quality of your conditioning and practice sessions. Mental preparation is also crucial, and we talked about that in previous sessions. Lastly, daily life also affects athletes' performance. So let's go over all these lifestyle choices in details. So the physiology is the foundation, the structural base for supporting the entire Game Face system. Athletes work the same as cars. You have to take care of your car. You have to make sure that there is enough gasoline. Nutrition is key component of high performance training. The food you choose to eat will fuel your body, giving you the nutrition and energy you need to achieve your goals. The human body is between 70–80% water. Water is the most important for athletes. Along with food, water, sleep is one of the most important recovery tools for an athlete. If you don't have enough sleep, it affects how you cope with stress. So I will go over each component and will give tips, each of them. So let's start with nutrition. So it's very important that you don't skip breakfast. When you skip breakfast, your body is forced to draw on energy reserves stored in the liver. And research shows that skipping breakfast diminishes memory, performance on proficiency tests, and reaction time, whereas consuming a light meal in the morning enhances alertness and productivity. Your body needs 40 different nutrients to maintain good health. Essential nutrients include carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. You can see the healthy eating plate here. And eat plenty of grain-based foods. These foods are rich in carbohydrates, which provide your body with the energy it needs throughout the day. Some examples are pasta, rice, bread, and cereal. When it comes to vegetables, be creative and colorful. Shoot for 2.5 cups per day. Work in 1 to 2 cups fruit or juice each day, and consume sufficient protein. Protein is necessary to build strong muscles. Classic sources include meat, poultry, fish, beans, eggs, and nuts. Cut down on caffeine. It affects high stress situations unpredictably. You don't want to over-arousal yourself. Snack strategically. The content, timing, and frequency of snacks are extremely important. Strategically, snacking throughout the day raises metabolic rate and stabilizes mood and energy levels. The performance benefits include better concentration, positive energy, and improved emotional control. Nutrition Snacks include fresh fruits, bagels, low-fat yogurt, pretzels, fixed power bars, and vegetables. So let's watch a video about how sugar affects athletic performance.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos with TMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. And today on Game Changers, I'm going to show you how simple sugars negatively affect your athletic performance. Regardless of your sport, you need 3 things to fuel your muscles before you train to optimize performance and to facilitate recovery. These 3 things are carbohydrates, protein, and water. Today, we're going to focus on complex carbohydrates. These are made up of starch, sugar, and fiber. They're things like fruit, vegetables, nuts, and even dairy products. Simple sugars, on the other hand, are just that. They're only sugars: sucrose, glucose, and fructose. I'm here with Giovanna from Utica High School, and we're going to look at complex carbohydrates and how they are the best energy source, and the difference between simple sugars and complex carbohydrates effect on strength. So we're going to start out by strength training Giovanni's shoulders. You're going to push as hard as you can against me. Don't let me break you. Perfect. Now go ahead and sit on up. I'm going to have her take just some simple sugar, and she's going to eat some of that right now. Good. Now, we'll let her go ahead and finish that, and then she's going to lay back down in the exact same position she was just in. We're going to re-strength train her and see what effect the simple sugar just has on her strength. So, okay, hold as hard as you can. No, I said hold as hard as you can. Ready? Hold as hard as you can. Giovanna, hold as hard as you can. Okay. Now, we're going to see what effect complex carbohydrates have on her strength. Giovanni has some grapes. She's going to eat 1 or 2 grapes right now. And then as soon as she eats those grapes, we're going to have her lay back down and retest her strength. We know that complex carbohydrates are made up of those starches, sugars, and fibers, and they give us our greatest long-lasting stamina or strength. Arms are back up straight. And now hold me as hard as you can. Ready? Hold, 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 hold. Ready? Go. I can't push you down, can I? Hold, hold, hold. Good. So you can see that negative effect that simple sugars just has on your strength. Before any workout, it's best then to eat complex carbohydrates about 2 to 4 hours beforehand to sustain your energy. Post-workout, make sure you consume those complex carbohydrates within 30 to 60 minutes. This is critical for muscle repair. For more sports performance tips.
All right. So let's move on. And the human body is between 70 and 80% water, and water is the most important for athletes. It is normal for an athlete to lose between 2 and 5 pounds of water during hard practices and competitions. Just 2 pounds of water loss can decrease your reaction time, coordination, speed, mental equity, and perception. Here are some training tips. Drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water. Drink water when you wake up and before meals. It's a recovery strategy. Always carry a water bottle with you. Eat water-rich fruits, vegetables, watermelon, cucumber, oranges, lettuce. Listen to your body and notice when you are thirsty. Avoid excessive caffeine and alcohol intake, and consider your environment. If you're in a hot climate, drink more water. Along with food and water, sleep is one of the most important recovery tools for an athlete. Lack of sleep will make us irritable, impair our motor skills and our ability to think, make decisions, and be creative, and make us more likely to get upset and act out. You have got to hit at least 7 hours of rest every night. Some people need more sleep and others less. To improve your quality of sleep, try the following. Get up and go to bed within half an hour of the same time, preferably early. Develop sleep rituals and 20-30 minutes wind down rituals, and follow them every night. For example, use something to help you to relax and fall asleep. You might try reading a book and keeping no screen time an hour before bed. Practicing visualization, meditation, practicing yoga, or taking a bath could be helpful a couple of hours before you go to sleep. And evaluate your sleep environment, darkness, temperature that is optimal for you. Reduce intake of coffee, and an afternoon nap of as little as 5 minutes can provide physical and physiological recovery. Afternoon naps can also increase energy, concentration, alertness, and motivation. So take naps, find a quiet spot, and lie down for 10-30 minutes. It's very, very helpful. And I also going to show another quick video here that I found very
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos of DMC Physical Therapy and Sports
helpful.
Medicine. And today on Game Changer, we're going to talk about sleep. Is it your missing performance tool? Most of the time, when we think about athletic performance and improving it, we think about practice, skill work, strength and conditioning, and even nutrition. We typically don't think about whether we get enough sleep or not, this affecting our performance. But more and more research is now showing inadequate amounts of sleep has a huge impact on our sports performance. By not getting enough sleep, here are some of the things that can affect your performance. Number one, it can decrease your strength and cause fatigue to set in earlier. It can affect your ability to accelerate during a sprint. And it can affect your overall sprint speed, your top speed and your average speed. And the American Academy of Pediatrics showed in a study that adolescents who got 8 hours or more sleep a night had a 68% less injury rate than those who did not get 8 hours of sleep. Athletes like LeBron James get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Here are some tips that you can implement to improve your sleeping. First of all, develop a consistent habit of sleeping, going to bed and getting up at the same time. Secondly, get the recommended number of hours of sleep every night. The CDC suggests 8 hours, but as an athlete, you may require up to 10 hours. And third, if you need to, take a power nap 1 or 2 times a day, especially if you're not getting that full 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night. Take your game to the next level.
Right. So the next essential lifestyle category is the physical preparation after the physiological preparation. And it involves the following components: practice, conditioning, and rehearsal for your training. So let's see them in more detail. So nothing can replace the endless hours of practice that are required to make physical skills automatic. If you want to enter the zone consistently, you must go on the playing field physically prepared. Your strategy must be in a place and your technique must be trained so it is automatic. Consistent high-level performance comes from consistent high-level practice. Top athletes trained the way want to perform. They often make practice harder than the competition, so when the times comes to perform, they are ready. Here are some specific pointers to assist you in having peak practices. Most of them apply to getting ready for a competition. So develop a pre-practice preparation plan. It's important to make a successful physical, mental, and emotional transition. Physical transition means that what do you need to be physically ready for practice? For example, eating a light snack, drinking enough water, and having the right sport clothes and sports gear. Mental transition is about what do you need to be mentally ready for practice. For example, review your training notes, choose 1 or 2 subjects to practice. For example, give my best effort and focus during training or practice my forehand loop percentage. And emotional transition means that what do you need to do to create the feelings you need for performance? For example, listening to music before training, relaxing, having 5 minutes of quiet time, visualizing your peak performance, and talking and laughing with someone to create positive emotions. So this is very important for training because it makes a difference in the quality of your training. And I'm going to just continue with the tips. So it's also important to have a contingency plan, that because we all have those days when we wake up on the wrong side of the bed and we feel angry, moody, and cranky. I'm sure everyone experienced that. So here are some possible examples you can do, like when you're having those days, you can use positive imagery, upbeat music, humor, using your positive affirmations, and also wearing even a big smile helps you to move on and create positive emotions. It's also very important to know what distracts you and how to deal with it. We already talked about it, but even for training, to know that what distracts you during practice and competition. So family members watching, or high expectations, your coach, or and it can be basically anything, but you want to be aware of that. And remember, what you focus on grows. So focus on watching the ball, and for example, exhaling every time when you hit the ball can be very helpful. Lastly, adjust your energy level. If you feel sleepy or sluggish, listen to more upbeat music, do breathing exercise, do a couple of jumps. If you feel too nervous or over aroused, do some deep breath work and listen to some calm music and go to a quiet spot. So all these affects your practice. And conditioning is more about body strength, flexibility, and endurance. There is a direct relationship between levels of physical fitness and mental and emotional performance as well. Physical training helps adjust the chemical balance in the nervous system. Exercise functions as a stimulant, causing an increased production of endorphins and neurotransmitters in the brain that reduce pain, enhance pleasure, and help you to relax. The fitter you are, the more physical, mental, and emotional stress you can handle, and the higher your confidence level will be. Best athletes balance their hard work with quality rest, recovery, otherwise burnout and injury will occur. And lastly, rehearse your game face routine and routines, like the 4 R's, reaction, recovery, ready, and ritual between points. We already talked about that, until they become second nature. Visualize your peak performance. Imagine your strong body language and feel that you feel confident and focused while you're playing. Visualize tactics, walk through you and rehearse your routines. Record yourself and observe how you do when things are going well and what you do when things are not going well. Before you win, must have the will to prepare to win. So conditioning your mind is essential, and I highlighted 3 important components here: self-talk, focus, and visualization. So let's go over them one by one. We already covered it, but it's going to be very quick. So self-talk is an inner dialogue with yourself. It can be loud or inside your head. Self-talk affects performance, self-esteem. Positive self-talk increases self-worth and performance. Negative self-talk decreases self-worth and performance. And reframing your negative thoughts to positive thoughts build mental strengths. So practice talking to yourself the way good coaches, teachers would. They are tough on you about things you can control, and they never give up on you. But so be your best friend. Write down 3 positive affirmations daily, such as I can do this, I believe in myself, I'm a strong competitor. So the next one, we also had a session on that about focus, but peak performance happens when you're focused on the important things in the present moment. So concentration or focus is a learned skill, which means paying attention to what is important in your game and blocking out distractions. Concentration means being in here and now in the present. What situations do you lose focus? What is in your control and what is out of your control? Also know what are important cues to focus on, such as the ball, the tactics, breathing, for example. It's key to focus on what you can control. Champions keep their focus on the things they can control: that attitude, work ethic, thoughts, motivation, effort, and learning. Focus on the process and not the outcome. And here are the tips for you. focus on the important things that you can control. Also learning to meditate or doing yoga helps you to stay in the present moment, and practicing breath work and avoiding distractions and staying focused on here and now, very, very helpful. So breath work in general, very helpful. And lastly, another great way to increase mental strength is visualization or imagery. Imagery is a mental rehearsal, can be used as a performance routine right before or days before an important competition, or even during match. You can practice these skills almost any time and any place. And as a pre-performance routine, you can recall your best performance. Imagine replaying the match or playing a future match. Well, it's a good mental rehearsal. When you're learning a new skill, visualization helps you to learn that skill faster and also correct your technical skills. You can also visualize your tactics right before an important match, or visualize specific scenarios to play, for example, at 10-10. Imagine playing successfully. Visualizing breakthroughs such as your comebacks or how you won very close matches is also very beneficial for you. You can also visualize important future competitions, helps you to increase your self-confidence and perform better. And visualization or imagery is a proven tool for top level athletes. Lastly, see yourself accomplishing long-term goals you have set for yourself, how you're going to feel and what it means to you. During imagery control, being able to imagine what they want is crucial as well. And the experience must be vivid, means that you can see themselves and colors, how and hear how the ball is bouncing, feeling how you're holding the racket and using all your senses. So I know you're right before a important competition. It's very good exercise to imagine yourself competing in the future. And I'm going to show you here a quick video, which is also, I really like this video. Christine, that's a short one.
When I'm doing imagery, I'm sure to make sure to include all of my senses. I can hear the crowd, I can hear the buzz of the lights. You know, I can feel the wind on my neck. And when I'm doing that, I can feel all of the muscles that I need to engage in order to do a good jump. So squeezing my core, my quads, you know, feeling my arms nice and tight. And then when I start moving my arms, that's when the jump starts. One of the most important components of imagery is the kinesthetic imagery. So actually feeling your body going through the motions as though you're actually out there competing. She'll go through her image and seeing herself, feeling herself go through the perfect jump and landing that jump every time. If you watch me in a competition state, I'm actually going to be doing my imagery right up until my coach tells me that the clock is running, which tells me I have 15 seconds before I have to ski down the in run for my competition jump. Most of the athletes on the hill can perform a jump that would win an Olympic Games. It's just a matter of doing it when the time is right and doing it when it's important. You can see the differences between athletes who've used it consistently over the years, and they tend to have more consistent performances. You know, I'll actually think about distractions that may come up on the hill. For example, you know, different weather conditions or being in a high pressure situation like the Olympics. I'll actually think about those things and go through an imagery process with having those distractions present, and you know, kind of going through kind of a negative thought stopper or a distraction stopper process, so that I can get back to where I need to be mentally in order to perform a jump. I don't think I could possibly do a jump, or especially a new trick, without having this imagery process first. For me, this is so very key to the athlete that I've become. A lot of these things, they're just like skills that you would learn as an athlete, skills that you would learn physically to improve your performance. You know, these skills are just mental skills. People are recognizing that training the mind is just as important, if not more important, than training the body. Mental skills certainly can't overcome lack of physical skills, but mental skills are basically there to help you pull out your best performance when that best performance is necessary. And ideally, they're getting that consistent training prior to even coming here.
In addition to the physical and emotional and mental elements of competition, there is another important aspect. We can't overlook how handle athletes in their daily lives. Another important aspect is the daily life. Student athletes need to maintain their personal integrity and to manage their daily commitments. You have important commitments to time management, relationships, academics, or work, and also fun time, relationships, and the environment, and so on. When these commitments are broken, they drain everyone's energy, and distracts focus and purpose. We need proficient time management skills to get everything done. So planning your activities allows you to focus on the things you decide matter the most. How you choose to spend that time is what matters the most. And ask these questions. Do your choices support your quest for success? Do they move you closer to your dreams? And also, what can I do today that will move me closer to realizing my vision? And here are some actions that are very helpful for time management, increasing time management skills. Plan and put everything on your calendar, perform and evaluate and plan more. And you want to plan your day ahead and prioritize all your tasks you have to do. Academics and work, it's also very important to manage your schoolwork and or project deadlines. And here are some tips for you. Prioritize your work and tasks. Ask for help if you need it. And don't multitask. Don't check your phone or emails while you are working on projects. Plan to complete your projects and assignment. If you can complete them 1 or 2 days before they are due in case something unexpected happens. It's very, very helpful. Laughter, humor, and play are powerful forms of recovery. Spend time with people who make you laugh, watch funny videos, collect and share jokes. They enable you to move almost effortlessly from negativity into positive energy state. Laughter is a natural breathing technique, and it has cleansing and revitalizing effects as well. Laughter releases endorphins, which cause euphoria and reduce pain. So laughter is a good medicine for both the body and mind. And also practicing playfulness just in general is very, very helpful. The people you surround yourself with directly influence you influence your performance. No elite athlete, no successful person rises to the top alone. It takes a strong supporting cast, parents, coaches, trainers, siblings, teachers, and friends. They keep you grounded and provide valuable support along your athletic journey. It's important to design and maintain your support system. Failure to create and nurture effective relationships will inevitably lead to loss of motivation, burnout, illness, and injury. Top athletes create and support a culture of high performance through strong relationships. So here are also some tips. So look for a way to support people who support you. Make time for those closest to you to support you. Eat meals together and watch a movie, and also spend time together. These are very, very important to spending time, the important ones. And also here is a little slide about relationships. And imagine that your relationships are like bank accounts. In your relationships, do you make more deposits or withdrawals? What would be the balance of each account? So it's also good to look at these because it helps to think about what helps and what diminishes relationships, and and also team dynamics. So deposit can be compliments, acknowledgements, talking, listening, cheering, eye contact, arm around shoulders, pat on the back, clapping, laughing with them, smiling. And withdrawals means gossiping, complaining, rolling eyes, poor body language, neglecting people, and also laughing at them, shaking your head, fighting and arguing. So these are very important ones, and to know, to be aware of these interpersonal skills. High performance athletes take responsibility for their immediate environment and its influence on them. Taking care of your environment is good for you and positively affects you. And here are some tips. So customize and care for the places that support you. So it can be home, dorm room, gym, table tennis ball, locker room. And the questions to ask that: does your space support your success? Can you find what you need in a few seconds? Or is your space more like a disaster area? Without attention to your environment, you create stress for yourself and potentially others. So it's important to take care of your environment and respect the things that you use along your journey: equipment, food, clothes. Think about your equipment. Are they in a good shape? Do you take care of it? And also about thinking about taking care of the practice gear and knowing where you find, for example, your water bottle and pedal cases, t-shirts, uniforms. So this is also very, very important. And we went through all these different lifestyle choices. And a good question to ask: what is one lifestyle choice that I want to change? If you have to choose one, what would be the most important to work on and change? Then commit to work on it. And because also first step is awareness, knowing what you want to change. But also the next step is to commit to it and do the necessary steps. So I will also talk a little bit about how to build a new habit, how you can change. So start with small changes, make incremental changes toward the behavior you want to work, and work your way up from there. Even if you improve at something only 1% every week, the changes that accumulate over months or years are massive, right? Update your environment, make changes that encourage your new habits and discourage unwanted habits. If you would like to eat healthier, keep a bowl of fruit on the counter and put unhealthy snacks out of sight. Tie new habits to other activities. Make a plan using format after and I will. So for example, before each training, I will practice visualization for 5 minutes. This is a simple way to remember your habit each day and encourage inconsistency. Sorry, not inconsistency, consistency. Some practice better than no practice. So even if you don't have a lot of time or energy, do something toward building your habit. For example, too tired for breathing exercise, do it for 2 minutes. And also too tired for stretching, also you can do it for 5-10 minutes. Or too busy to read a whole chapter, read 1 page. Consistency build habits. Also tell someone, your coach, parents, or your teammate, you're starting a new habit. Doing so creates accountability and makes it more difficult to back out of your commitment. Also, once others know you're working toward a goal, they may offer encouragement and support. Also, track your habit. Keep a journal, calendar, or a spreadsheet to record your habit each time you practice. It can be satisfying to record your behavior and to look back and see all the hard work you have put in. plus it can be motivating to keep a habit streak alive. And lastly, celebrate your success. Healthy habits tend to have long-term benefits that take time to kick in. So while you're waiting for these, give yourself immediate small rewards to sustain motivation. Just make sure they don't contradict your goals. So here's a quick summary of the whole program, the 4 hours in the game face training program. So the 4 hours is about the time between points, and it involves 4 steps: reaction, recovery, ready, and ritual. And the game face training program involves 4 lifestyle choices that we covered today: the physiological, physical, mental, and daily life. And once you have your game face routine in place, it's time to support it with a customized game face training program. And lastly, mental health awareness is important. Around 35 of elite athletes suffer from burnout, disordered eating, anxiety, and or depression. Student athletes, 22.3% were at risk for depression. Anxiety is 12.5%, and low esteem is 80%. So these should be treated by mental health professionals. And I just also wanted to highlight this, that when I'm working with, I'm doing mental skills work. So whenever it exceeds my expertise, I make referrals to other professionals. And we covered many different areas that affect athletes' performance, also nutrition and sleep, but I'm an expert in the mental game. So I just wanted to make these distinctions, and thank you for your attention. And I would like to open it up for questions and comments.
Thank you, Dora, for that. I think for me, the most interesting was how important the mental skills are, and especially the visualization part, and that the entire state of the body, you need to feel it and be part of it. So that's pretty cool. I think I do it automatically, but just having that awareness around that, I think is so very important, that you don't just think about it, but you actually try and be part of that. And so that was great. The other thing as well was a new habit. So I learned a lot there. Is that small changes make a huge difference. So that was good to know. And as well that some of the practices are better than none. So definitely some great tools there. So thanks for that, Dora.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
open it up for question. Anyone has any questions, please?
And just going back what you just said, like the visualization. So she talked about, she was really using it as a pre-performance routine. So it was a routine that she basically also applied, and using mental skills as a routine, right? It's very, very helpful.
Yeah, I love that, because we do it already. It's like when I want the kids and they don't have the energy to play or practice, and you can see the balls flying everywhere. I say, slow it down and just imagine that you're in a stadium of 15,000 people and pretend you're superstars. And I think I talked to you about this before, and maybe others heard that as well. And you just play a beautiful route, and you can see they can do it. And they feel it, and they feel excited. And that's the same when I go to the table and make a nice point. I like kiss the crowd and say, yeah, woo. Just to be part of that. So yeah, very important. Okay, any questions? Please just unmute and ask your questions. Write them in the chat. Let us know.
Spire Jones, Sport North. Dora, great to see you again. Thank you very much.
Great to see you.
A couple of things. You talked about 35% of elite athletes being potentially depressed. I wonder if there's another session that we could look at, is, lost your love for the game, and then talk about how people can reunite with the fun and the passion that they had once for the game, or at higher levels than they had. I think that would be cool if you were looking for another presentation idea.
Yeah, so no, that's great. So could you just repeat that? Like what would be the idea again?
But the title of the session might be "Lost Your Love for the Game?" question mark.
Oh, okay.
And what people can do to, to return to the passion, the joy, the invigoration that they got when they first started, or when they got better, and they were really excelling in the game. And it's for some reason it's become perhaps a bit of a hardship for them, if indeed that might be the cause of their depression.
Yeah, no, that can be definitely, but maybe that's more with basically professional athletes, right? I think it's more related to them who played really hard and lost the joy of their game because they burnt out. That's what you mean? Because I think recreational player don't really burn out. That's what I see. So it's a little bit different being a recreational athlete in anything than a very high level athlete. I think being a top level, it can be very tiring for a long term than a recreational player, because the recreational player, basically the point is to have fun, right? That's the goal. But so I like the idea, but who would be what I see that recreational players they don't have this problem, and also even recreational player who might happen to have depression or other anxiety problems. I think table tennis is a great way to treat those, because when you're playing, you're just watching the ball and enjoying the game. So it's more like a treatment.
I wonder, I still sense that recreational players, we are still losing recreational players, and I think it's maybe it's not lost your love for the game, but losing your love for the game. Yeah. But you're right. It's as Thor says, if we can ensure that sense of fun is ingrained in what we bring to the court, the pool, the gym. I have to tell squash players, for evenly matched squash players, sure, the better fueled squash player could perhaps do well, but I think I also tell them, can you out-fun your opponent? Because generally we play pretty well if we're having fun, and if we're certainly not having fun, then we're not playing our best life.
Yeah,
I love that, Spider. Out-fun. That's my new hashtag. Hashtag out-fun. Out-fun your opponent.
I think it's very interesting what you said, Spider, because I think that we focus a lot of on the success of the players when they are growing up and they are going to competition, and at a certain point we can lose what make us begin to play and have fun. So I think it's a very important component of the of the game. Thank you for pointing out, because it's as a coach, I think we have to have this idea behind to not forget about it.
And maybe that can be maybe how to enjoy the game more. Maybe something like, yeah. I
want to build on that. Sorry, I want to build on that, Karine. Like, do we have, because Table Tennis Canada did a survey, and Karine is from Table Tennis Canada, the manager for the Gender Equity Committee, and there's a campaign called Women in Table Tennis.
It's not the Gender Equity Committee now. It's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee.
Okay. And so have we seen that with the results or the information that we got from the coaches as well, that they don't have fun anymore?
I don't think we had that, but I can feel it. All the players that just stop playing at a certain level, it's just because they feel that they cannot just be as good as they wanted, and some players are just going better and better, and they are losing all the time. So they don't find it very fun to continue to play. So, and I think that we have to think about how we highlight all the tournaments. We always put only the players that just won, and we don't highlight just the fun to play and to be there and to participation, because it's okay to have high level players, but we also need to have a lot of recreational players. And in table tennis, we don't have a lot of players, so it's very difficult to maintain that everybody is playing together, and we don't have that recreational tournament system. Like in hockey, we can have some recreational players, and we can have better players that are playing together. So I think that's a problem with sports that don't have a lot of players.
So maybe the
That's my point of view, but sorry, Dora, what did you say?
But maybe that's also it could be a good goal, how to increase the players, right? The number of players.
Yeah, that's a big challenge.
Yeah, Spider said, have more fun than your opponent. So that's how we do it from now on. Out fun your opponent. I like that. Any other questions from anyone? Talking about healthy lifestyle choices that we want to make, and I guess preparation for training, competition, just the sport itself.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. Hi, I would like to say that nowadays many even say that the doctors say that playing table tennis is good for health. But on the other hand, on the other side, recently when I playing in the table tennis club, you can see that many players, they have the bandage on the wrist, on the elbow, and also on the shoulder, and they always have the belt to support their waist, and also on the knee. They feel painful. they feel painful. So on the other hand, I think that we have to tell them how to play properly. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, they will go to other sport, such as one member tell me that, oh, recently I go to swimming. Swimming is better. I don't need to have so much playing after playing the table tennis. So that's just one example. Yes, so I think that we have to tell that to play properly is the most important one. Play it safely. Play it safely. That is the priority of my teaching. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing. Good techniques helps not to get injured. I agree with that, but of course, I would also say that compared to other sport, table tennis is a very safe sport. Contact to contact sports. You don't get a head injury, right? And also, I mean, yeah, some people get injured, but I would say it's a very safe sport in general. But it depends also on the technique. But someone has not the best techniques, can cause actually injury sometimes. Yeah. So you're suggesting to make sure that the new players play in the right way and they are not getting injured.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. Definitely. Well, thanks for sharing.
Could it be also the number of repetition and the recovery that we can make sure that is well done?
What I see, I mean, I see more in the US, but some also, I mean, I see that even competitions, like you have so many matches, like in one day, I don't know, someone told me at 13 matches. I was like, wow, that's a lot. So in a competition, it's I feel like that's a little bit too much. But so it's important to have recovery for sure, and know everyone's limits, right? And also everyone is in different physical health conditions, so that could be something, but I think it's also individual as well, and also depends on the level and the technique as well, for sure. But yeah, education. So maybe what we are talking about, education can be a very, very important part, and also building self-awareness about limits and prevention. For sure. I also see in the chat, oh, how to make table tennis more sport friendly. Some people quit table tennis because of injury and high competitions of the match. Yes, I mean, that was Edmund. Yeah, you put in the chat. What do you mean on because of high competitions? Because it was too competitive? Do you mean it was too stressful, or not, as people weren't friendly, just focusing on winning? Or what do you mean on high competitions? And going back to fun, or something fun or not fun. Anyway, I will say it afterwards. Even when a recreational player wanna to go high level, they find table tennis is getting tricky and too fast to lose. Well, I think maybe it's more about setting realistic expectations, right? The later someone starts a sport, especially table tennis, it's harder to get in a really, it's not that realistic to get a 22 or 2300 level, right? So yeah, recreational, but they can go high level on their level. So again, everything is relative. I think playing, maybe that's something I would suggest recreational players that play at their own level and a little bit higher level, because if they are just playing way higher levels, that can be frustrating. So focusing on the process to building different skills like serve, receive, footwork, right? So the basic skills. I think it's very rewarding, and going back to Spider comments as well, I think also people enjoy when you're successful, right? So it can be also very good when people are playing at the same level, because it's challenging, but also can be very rewarding. Oh, so it's very mental. Yeah, it's high pressure because it's very quick. You get tense and slow, and you finished with the game. That's right. It's very mental. That's why it's a very mental and special sport. But I think that's also one of the reasons they like it as well. And they're also very strategic as well, right? So I wanted to share just something that going back, like high level athletes and enjoyment, and Olympian gold medalist, I don't have to say which sport, told me that. I mean, he was saying that I don't play to to have fun, I play to win. So that's also like kind of it's also, I mean, it also depends on the personality and many different things, but at high level it's a profession. You have to win, right? So it's not about just having fun, but the best when they are having fun and winning as well, of course.
Okay, any last question before we wrap up for today? And thanks for that, Dora.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for everyone.
And I think what you always go back to, it's all about preparation. It's all about training yourself, not just the technical aspects of it, but also the mental and the spiritual and whatever else comes with it. So we're building your games routine and everything else. So everything really goes back to that. So it's very nice, I think, to wrap it up that way. So thanks everyone for coming again. I added you into the database already to get your credit afterwards. And if you have any questions, I will share the slides again and send you an email. And then we have 2 more sessions on engagement sessions. And hopefully we'll see you there. So thanks everybody for coming, and thanks Dora for being the amazing self that you are and providing us these nice presentations and working with our athletes and coaches together. So thank you very much for that.